Hey guys, happy Friday. Made it through another week. Hallelujah. All right, so today I have watercolor, and I thought we would do some intuitive work, which is my favorite. So I have a piece of watercolor paper, and it's actually half of a huge piece. But watercolor paper, and I have it taped down the middle because I'm actually going to make two separate pieces out of it. And sometimes I like to do this because when I get in the zone and I'm creating and I'm having fun, then I will go crazy. Like my stuff will be way too busy by the time I get done. So I find if I split it in half and I'm doing two pieces, then I can maybe do something on this side that I wouldn't necessarily do over here, and I can kind of spread it out, if that makes any sense. So that's my plan. I have my palette picked out from the Art Nouveau set, Gansai Tambi. And I like to put my colors in these little wells and add more water to them instead of just using them straight out of the pan. Sometimes, not all the time, but I like to do that because it kind of waters them down because they can be pretty thick. All right. So, and then I have just some other supplies here that we may use. I've got some Inktense pencils. I have some mark making tools, little things from around the house. So I don't know what all we'll use just yet. We may use some gelatos, but I was just kind of feeling this color palette. So let's see. Let me grab. I'm going to grab a bigger brush, and I think what I'm going to do is start out with just some water. Kind of wet some of this. As soon as I turn the camera on, it acts like it wants to start storming. So if y'all can hear thunder, sorry about that. I'm just going to add some of my lighter color, just kind of a wash. This is, let's see. This is the, let me tell you about these colors real quick. Stuff out of the way. So this color is the Acrylic Beige. This one right here is Potter's Pink. This is Alizarin Crimson, and then we have Flax Beige, I believe. Is that Flax Beige? Yes, Flax Beige. And then the green is Olive Green from the larger set. There's that. Yeah, that one, Olive Green. Okay, let me get all that out of the way. All right, let's see. A little more color. We're going to do some on this side. I'm going to grab my beige color. Kind of pop some of that in. weather has been so crazy. Crazy. It's supposed to be like 107 this next week. It's not good. It's June. Okay, I like that. Let's see here. So this is just kind of my underpainting. Like going in with lighter washes for the background. And then adding more color, thicker colors toward the top. So we get on the upper layers. And there's no method to my madness, really. I'm just playing, having fun. Look at that. I just love how that works. That's what makes watercolor so much fun. Oh, that looks good. Looks like an S. Go in with a little bit of that lighter color. That's looking good. Get a little more of the beige. Put down here. If you can leave it alone, it'll do really magic things. If you're like me, you feel like you have to control everything it does. It actually doesn't really let the watercolor do its magic. Just adding a little more of that darker color. All right, so far so good. I'm not sure I like that line right there. Okay. All right, let's let that dry for a sec. Probably get my heat gun out. Since I just said, let it do its thing. But we don't want to be here all day, right? Okay, let me dry this. Be right back. Okay, so far so good. So now I'm going to add just a little more of that light beige color. Just really to get the paper wet, because I think I'm going to grab some ink tints. Do some mark making. Alright, so picked out a couple of colors, Ionian Green and Willow. Willow's kind of a brown color. I'm just going to go through here kind of where it's wet and do some little scribble marks. Look at that. I love the texture it gives when your paper is wet. Let's get a little bit up here. Let's try this one. Might do a little, ooh, of the green. Love how that looks. I just hold my pencil real far back, and then you don't have good control over it. So you can do these kind of light, loose marks. Oh, I love the brown. Love the brown. That looks good. I'm not as big of a fan of the green. Let's see. All right, so we may go through and kind of cover that green up a little bit, just because it's not my favorite. So what I'm going to do, actually, let's see, I don't want that brush. Get a smaller brush. I'm going to get some of the green, and we'll kind of go over some of this here. Starting to move. Look at that. So pretty. Love watercolor. Let's see. Let's do green in here. It's pretty. Just trying to kind of bring the color throughout the piece. That looks good. Wet that. There. Ink tints are so much fun. All right, so far so good. Let's see, what else can we do? I think I want to bring a little more color in. Let's do a little bit of this light pink. I'll stuck my brush in that green. Oh, that looks good. Choices, choices. This is going to turn out pretty good. Guess I better not speak too soon, huh? Let's see, maybe do a little light wash up here. And bring that over there. So far, so good, I think. All right. Something else that I like to do is take any kind of a mark making utensil or tool. I have just this little skewer here, and I like to go in and just scribble into the wet paint. Leave some really interesting marks. You could go in with like a catalyst wedge that has the little teeth on it, or these little guys. These are from a jelly plate set, but you could go through and make some marks using those, which is always fun. I like that. Looks good. Okay, what else? What else? Let's see. Oh, let's add a little bit of gelato. So I think I want something a little brighter because this is a pretty light wash. So we could do a green. Let's see. This is two different sets I have. I just have the translucent set, and then I think I have the metallic as well. These are such fun to play with. Let's see. This is nougat brown color. It's a possibility. So my pink is pretty pink. I think that watermelon is a bit much for this piece. Let's see. What is this? Lychee? Lychee? Huh. Okay, so that one's translucent. Maybe. Let's see if we can find a green, a really pretty green. What is that? Gray. Eggplant. That's a beautiful color. I love that one. And what else is in here? Thistle, which is kind of a gray. Hazelnut. Oh, looky here. There's two. Poppy seed, which I think is black. Peppercorn may also be black. Those are very dark. And this is bergamot or bergamot. I don't know how you say that. It's kind of a green color. Let's test that one out. So let me find a little scrap piece of paper here. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's nice. Looky there. That is really nice. So there's a few different things you can do with gelatos, a few different ways you can use them. You can scratch them out on your palette and then use a damp brush and pick up the color. You can rub it directly on your piece. I wish they had kind of like a sharp tip that you could make. Look at that. You can just make with them, that you could do skinnier lines with. And kind of blend them out. You can use your wet brush. Use this brush. So they just dissolve. See, then they leave that. You can leave some of that texture in there for fun. Texture is always fun, right? do one more. Just kind of over the top of that mark making. I think that's kind of interesting. All right, we'll leave that, see what it dries like. And, oh, one more thing, let me show you. So I've got this over here on my palette. Another way to use these things, which is kind of fun, is with these little blending brushes. So I just wiped my brush off on a paper towel. Then I go over here and pick this up, and you can do this through a stencil. So you just do it random pieces on your paper. Let's see, let's find kind of a light colored spot. Oh, it's not even showing up. These things are so fun. It's kind of like playing with your mom's lipstick when you were a kid. Just take the lid off and smear it. What's more fun than that, right? Mom may not agree. So this is one of those that's from the translucent. So it doesn't really have a dark color, but I do like the way that looks. Just kind of a very soft, kind of ethereal look. And I've done it over here on this tape, so it'll look really cool when we pull the tape off. Look at that. Can you see? I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try to zoom in on this part. But the edge of that watercolor has made a line around the edge. And then when you go over it with the gelato, it makes a really interesting line there. Yes, I'm easily entertained. Let me use a little on this other one. See, if you do two pieces at a time like this, you can you know, hopefully they both work out, and then you can use them as a set or a series. And if they don't, hopefully your paint session at least gave you a one piece that you like. And it's not as much pressure. At least get something. So there you go. Let me put a little bit more on here. Oh, that's so cool. And this watercolor paper really gives a neat texture. With those gelatos. Yeah, so you can use that and then come in with your brush. Let's see. Get a little brush. And then just wet that. Just dissolves right away. And then, like I said, this is the one of the translucent ones, so it really, I'm sure it's not picking up on camera very well. It is pretty light, but I didn't put much either. Fun stuff. Okay. All right, do we need any of these other colors? Let's see. I think yes. All right, I'm doing it. Doing it. Look, it's the lipstick. Yum. All right, let me go over that with some water. You can go into them wet. Just for fun. And let's see if I can deepen up that pink there. But yeah, it's just like makeup. And you just blend them with your finger. It looks pretty good. Go over that a touch more. I may just kind of leave. I want a little bit of texture there. Might leave that. Let's see. Then I think I want some of that really light pink blending in real softly like we did that other one. Let me clean my brush here so I don't have a dirty color. Oh, here comes the rain. Let's see. Oh, that looks good. Oh, you know what? This came from, no it didn't. I was going to say, I think I have a pastel set of these, but that's translucent as well. Ooh, if y'all can hear that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me darken that up a little bit. I don't know if y'all can hear that rain. It's coming down. That's looking good. I love these. I don't know why I don't use them more. That looks really good. All right. Need a little more. I'm going to darken this other pink up. I hope you guys can see okay. Oh, look. And that, where we scratched the paper with that stick, look, it left marks in there. And when you go over it with the gelatos, that really makes it pop. That is awesome. Here a little. I like it. Let me see if I can blend this just a little bit. All right, that looks good. All right, so what is next? What is next? We need some darker stuff on the top. All right, let me think about this a sec. All right, so I think I want some darker elements. And I'm feeling some botanical shapes, maybe some leaves going up through here. So, and I'm going to do that with the watercolor. But one way to kind of test out your elements, I guess, before you put them on your page, well, if you have committal issues like I do, then you can use a watercolor pencil and kind of trace out or draw out where you think you want your elements to be, and it's erasable as long as your sheet is dry, then it's erasable. And so you can put that down first and then put your watercolor over the top and it'll just dissolve. So these are just Faber-Castell watercolor pencil. And I think that I want some sort of kind of flowy stems. It'll just kind of give me the basic shape there. Then I'll just do the rest with the brush. And get a smaller brush. And I do want this a little bit darker. I'm gonna go in some stronger paint. Okay. Go up here and make a leaf. Do I want stems? Do I want stems? Yeah. We will not have stems. This is the wrong direction for me to need to turn this. And we'll go over this with some Posca pen or gel pen or something, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I've got my paper is warping a little bit. So it's got a hump right here and the paint doesn't want to stay. All right, let's do one more over here. Fix that. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So we need to do something on the other one. I think on this one, I am going to kind of darken up some of these areas of the brown that didn't really get very dark. Turned out interesting. So I'm trying to think if we need to match. I don't really want to match the exact same thing on this side, but I do want something similar. So maybe let's try the green. Do just a little. I think because this one has so much going on that I don't want to do something large like that. It's already got quite a bit going on. So I'm going to get the green, just kind of darken some of this. And then when we go over it with a gel pen, we'll do our botanical markings. Now look at this. That's reacting. This paint reacts with the gelatos. I was painting with them the other day, and I had a puddle of paint, and it was these Art Nouveaux, and I had a puddle of paint and then came in with some of the gelato, and it literally pushed the paint away from it. So I think that's going to need some further experimentation to see what kind of trouble we can get into. Okay, I think I like it. I'm liking them. All right, y'all, I am going to let this dry and we'll come back and do the fun stuff. Okay, so we've got some choices here. I got out a white Posca pen. I got out my ruling pen. This is something that is fairly new to me, but I'm really liking how this works. It works kind of like a dip pen. And I'm going to use that with this, of course you can't read it, but it's Kuretake Gold Mica ink. And this stuff is fun. Very pretty gold. I also have these little gold watercolor here if we want to use those for anything. Let me activate those just in case. Oops. So beautiful. There's so many of them. So many shades of gold. All right, so we have that. Yeah, this is quite interesting. Can you all see that? It's really pretty though. All right, I think I'm going to start over on this left side so that I'm not dragging in paint. So I'm going to use this, sorry about that, use this Posca pen. I'm going to do a little leaf drawing over here. Pen does not appear to be working. I've had more trouble with my pens the past few days. I'm not entirely sure that it doesn't have something to do with these watercolors. It seems like when I use my Posca on top of them, it kind of messes the pen up, the Posca. All right, why am I shaking this? I'm going to try my Uniball. See if we do any better with that. I'm just going to kind of go in and do something similar that was on the other side. I may have to go over this again to darken it up. Yeah, see, I should have started at the other side. So I experimented the other day with some new fixative, to me, fixative spray, and it's called Spectrafix. It's like a non-aerosol spray, and it's made from cow's milk. It's got, well, I don't know if it's made from cow's milk. It has milk protein in it, casein, or casein, I don't know how you say that. And you can use it in the house. You don't have to have like a respirator and go outside and all that kind of crazy business. Anyway, so I was experimenting with that because I was having so much trouble with my pens writing on those watercolor, and that actually worked pretty good. I had to put a couple layers. Sorry guys, I gotta turn this around. I had to put a couple layers on, but it worked really good. Sticking my head in the camera again. So I kind of went through and made just some little pencil lines where I wanted to put this, just so I could get them straight. So I'll go back and erase those if needed. guess what I'm saying here is I should have put some of that fixative on. Underneath this, let me get a paper towel. That's pretty good. I'm trying really hard not to put my head in the camera. I'm sorry, y'all. If anybody else is using these Gansai Tambi watercolor and having trouble with your pens marking on it, will you let me know? I want to know if it's just me or if anybody else is having that issue as well. Alright, I probably will have to go back over this. That is not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, these pens. Alright, let me flip this around. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright. This other one I want to go through and put gold kind of outline, or it's not really outline, it'll be on the inside of the leaves. But I need to make sure, let me get another Posca. I want to go through and just do some mark making. Maybe try to finish this one first before we move over there. So I think I'm going to go through here. Make some dots. We might add a little gold in there somewhere. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. I'm gonna have to go back over it though. All right. And let's do some, I like these little V shapes. Sometimes I add those. Just for interest. All right, let's see. Probably do some dots over here as well. Just to kind of make them match, make them look like a set. All right, let me go over here with this gold. Do these leaves. I don't think this is supposed to work exactly like a dip pen. Like I think you're actually supposed to use a dropper or something and put the ink in that way, but this seems to work. All right, please do not let me mess this up. Oh, it looks good. Probably close this off a little bit with this little wheel. Tighten it a little bit, and that would make me have a skinnier line. But it's coming out pretty smooth. Well, that worked out pretty good. That looks good. I like it. All right. Yay. Do a few little gold marks in here. I like to do lines of dots, kind of going off the page. Kind of my little string of pearls mark I like to do. And let's see, where else do we need some? I almost think this needs a little, I don't know. All right, I should probably leave that. All right, let me do a few little gold marks over here. Oh, that looks so good. Looks really good. All right, now we do a few of these little string of pearls over here. That looks good. What else? What else? I'm thinking. Okay, I am going to put just a little bit of a stem. You have to have this thing turn the right direction or the ink won't come out. Okay. I like it. Okay, so I got the, I went back over this with the Posca, got it all touched up, and I think I'm calling her done. I am really happy with the way that these turned out. Let me take the tape off. The fun part. And I still have to cut these guys apart. That looks good. And sometimes, like after I look at a piece for a little while, I may decide to go back and add a couple more little marks, or, you know, a little something extra. Ooh, that looks so good where that gelato went over the edge. Look at that. Pretty, pretty. Almost looks like spray paint. Or like an airbrush. All right. Let me try not to tear my paper. That gold is very vivid. Let's see. Oh, pretty, pretty. I think I actually like both of these pieces. So I think we can officially say that we have a pair. I think they call that a diptych. They go together. Then you could take these and mount them to wood cradle if you wanted to. Oh, they look so good. Hang on, let me cut them real quick. Okay, I probably should have cut them first, which I will probably make a better habit of that, just in case something goes wrong when you're cutting them at the end, especially if you like what you did. So there they are, guys. I hope you enjoyed today. Hope you had a good time playing in your art supplies. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And I will see you on the next one.